Hey guys, what's going on? My name is Zenaton, and welcome to today's video for Legends of Runeterra. We are still in spoiler season. We got 2 new cards today. It's not going to be a long video today, unless I ramble a lot, which I tend to do. But I'll be honest with you, these 2 new cards, kind of lackluster and a little boring. One of them is kind of interesting though, but one of them is kind of really boring. So yeah, probably gonna be a little bit short, but 2 new Shadow Isle cards, one of which I think works really, I don't even know if I should say really well, one of which is meant to synergize with VIEGO, I think. But yeah, that's what we're gonna be doing today. So let's take a look at the new cards, the spoiled cards, whatever you want to call them. So here we go. Let's start with the boring stuff that's also bad in my opinion first, because they're, well, technically they're both bad, but still. Withering Mist. Why does this card exist? That's all I really have to say about this card. Is it's a 5 mana slow spell that says drain 2 from 2 enemies. Again, I'd like to reiterate what I was saying. Why? Like, I don't see why you would ever even consider playing this card. It's basically slow speed Withering Wail that hits a little harder, but it hits less units and it heals slightly more, I guess, technically, because it in theory heals 4. But yeah, I have no idea why you would ever play this card over Withering Wail. And you might say, like, well, what about extra copies of Withering Wail? Well, in the same exact mana slot, you have Grasp. Grasp of the Undying, I believe is the name of the card. The 5 mana deal 3, drain 3, basically. Or drain however much if you boost it with, like, powder kegs. That card still sees a little bit of play. And again, both Grasp and Wail, fast speed spells. This card, Withering Mist, slow speed spell. I think that's really the main thing, is that it's just, it's speed. The speed of the spell is going to hold it back. I think the card would actually be, I don't even know if extremely is the right word, but it would probably be really, really worthy of seeing play and worthy of consideration in more control-y decks if it was a fast speed spell. Because think about it, against every Shadow Isles control deck that plays Withering Wail, if this card was fast, I would at the very least consider this, because again, sure, it hits less things, but it does more damage, so that's nice. I guess in theory, like, maybe I should look at it more like Avalanche, but Avalanche is, well, 1, it's 4 mana. 2, it hits everything. So I'm basically, if I'm comparing this to Avalanche instead of Withering Wail, I'm paying an extra mana and I'm hitting less things to get life. That's not worth it in my opinion. Plus, again, like I said, Shadow Isles has the AoE in the form of Withering Wail. And a lot of Shadow Isle control decks pair with Freljord anyway, so they're already going to be able to play Avalanche and Blighted Ravine if they want even more of that style of effect. So I actually just have no kind of clue what deck would want Withering Mist. Maybe a non-Freljord control deck, but honestly, if I don't have access to Avalanche, you know what else exists? The box. Again, like, between Withering Wail, Box, and Grasp of the Undying as, like, more control-y anti-aggro cards, I don't see Withering Mist ever seeing play in any kind of deck with those 3 cards existing. Maybe in the future if they ever introduce, like, rotations into the game, maybe. And of course, there's always the cute stuff you can do. You can use, like, powder kegs and stuff, but you can do that with, like, Grasp and Wail and Box as well. So yeah, I don't know. I think the whole slow speed is gonna hold this card back, and it just feels a little too expensive even at 5 mana. 4 mana, I feel like it would be busted though. Not even busted, but just strong. Because if this was 4 mana and fast speed, it would actually be really good in my opinion. Maybe. I don't know. Box doing 3 damage though does kill some pretty key things like Ezreal and Draven. So yeah, not sure any kind of deck is ever going to play Withering Mist. I feel like this is a card that will drop, be released, see a little play at the very beginning because, people will try it. And the only reason you'll see it getting played is either one, it's a champion's champ spell, it gets created randomly from like a spooky karma player or some random creation or something. Or there's some weird combo, or in the future, they buff it. Those are the only ways I see this card ever seeing play. Like, I think this card just needs a buff to actually see play in the current meta. I try my best with even the bad cards to be like, oh, maybe in this deck or in this archetype it can see play. This card, I have literally no clue why you would ever play this card in any type of deck. Anyway, enough about me bashing Withering Mist. Let's look at the other card, which is also, in my opinion, bad, but at least it's more interesting than Withering Mist and might even see a little play. Invasive Hydravine. 7 mana, 7/6, and it has Fearsome. Okay, not a bad stat line for a 7-drop. 7 mana, 7/7s with a keywords about what I expect from 7-drops. So this is pretty good. Basically, I'm thinking of Eclipse Dragon. Clock Hand is also similar too. So got in good text here. When I'm summoned or round start, summon an Encroaching Mist. So basically, if you don't remember, the Encroaching Mist is the thing that VIEGO summons. So let's go take a look at that really quick. If you don't remember, Encroaching Mist here. 1 mana, 1/1. When I'm summoned, grant all allied VIEGOs and other Encroaching Mists everywhere. +1/+1. It also has Ephemeral. No other keyword besides that. So, thinking about Invasive Hydravine, I don't think it's good, but I kind of see it similar to Riptide Rex, Jawfish, like current Riptide Rex, not old Riptide Rex. And that is, I think it might be played as a 1, maybe even a 2 of if the meta is slow enough. Because this card is very powerful. Unlike some big cards that you play and they just don't do anything but die, this card actually does something when you summon it. When you summon it, you get the Encroaching Mist, which will probably be at least a little big. Because you're probably playing what's it called? Let me look at it real quick. The Camavoran Soldier, because you're probably going to play this card in a VIEGO deck. So you probably played like maybe a Camavoran Soldier, maybe in a VIEGO, and got in 2 Mist or something. So it's a 7 mana, 7/6 Fearsome that summons like a 3/3 Ephemeral or something, which isn't great. But with each passing turn, you get another Mist, which buffs itself, buffs the VIEGOs you have, buffs the other Mist you have, and it basically is like the current version of Snapvine we have now, because this thing is, I assume, ruined? I don't see the crown, the VIEGO Ruination crown, but I assume this thing is a ruined form of Snapvine, which I kind of thought that the Snapvine was already ruined, but maybe this is something completely different. But yeah, it's got that whole like Hydra thing going on where it's like, oh yeah, you got like multiple heads popping up and doing damage. So flavor-wise, it's a win. But yeah, I don't know. I think you can play this as a 1 of, maybe even a 2 of in a VIEGO deck. But I feel like the problem is VIEGO decks would rather just play things like, I don't know, Atrocity to try and end the game. Because you have to think, when you're playing cards that cost a certain mana cost, like I'd say like around 6, 7 or more mana, you're trying to do one of 2 things. You're trying to either stabilize the game or end the game or get to your win con, depending on your deck, of course. So think like things like Ruination, Harrowing, Captain Farron, Jawfish, Riptide Rex, Leviathan, stuff like that. Those are the kind of playable big things. This, in my opinion, doesn't really do that. This, like, it's kind of like Leviathan, like how Leviathan is to Swain, that, like, it combos, like Leviathan combos well with Swain. Invasive Hydravine kind of combos well with VIEGO, but for VIEGO to be on the field and the Hydravine, and you'll need another spot for the Mist that pops up. That's 3 slots. That's already, you're starting to push your board space a little bit. But I don't know. I think it's an okay card. Much, much better than Withering Mist, though. Maybe I'm wrong, though. Maybe this card's nuts. I don't think it's crazy good or OP. Nothing about it really just yells at me like I'm OP. Look at me, I'm busted. I'm gonna get nerfed. It just looks to me like it's a okay card. It's fine. It's Probably going to be a 1 of or a 2 of in a VIEGO deck. Maybe not, though, because there's other options for late game, too. So that's it. I think for Hydrovine, pretty much kind of locked into VIEGO unless other decks make use of Encroaching Mists. But for now, from what we've seen, it's kind of a lock into a VIEGO deck. I mean, there's some weird memes you can do, of course, too, with like playing Invasive Hydrovine, and then playing like the Snapvine, and then the Encroaching Mists pop up and turn into Snapvines. Like, that's cute, but that's a meme. Anyway, though, maybe I'm wrong on this. Maybe there's something busted with these two cards I'm not missing, but I honestly can't see it. But if you see it, I'd love to hear it down in the comments below. Maybe you just have an idea in general. I'd love to hear what you have to say about these cards. But yeah, if you just enjoyed the video in general, I'd love it if you could leave a like or a comment down below as well. And if you guys want to keep up with the Legends of Runeterra content, you can always go and subscribe to the channel. Also, if you want to catch me playing some Legends of Runeterra, you can always go and check me out over on Twitch at twitch.tv/Zenaton. I stream there pretty much every single day. Anyway, though, with that all said and done, thank you all once more for watching this video. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.